In a sky full of big puffy clouds, there was one little cloud named Nimba, who was smaller than the rest, but much, much braver. And one morning, Nimba woke up and gasped. Most of her fluff was missing. She wasn't soft and round anymore. She was more like a wiggly cotton thread. Now it just so happened that that day was Nimba's first day of cloud school. And when all the other little clouds saw her, they started to giggle. "Look at Nimba, what happened to your fluff?" they cried. And Nimba felt a little embarrassed, but mostly she felt determined. She would find someone to help her get her fluff back. So off she went, floating over fields of tall grass that tickled her nose and past grumpy mountains that grumbled as she floated by. "Excuse me," Nimba called out. "Could you please help me? I've lost most of my fluff and I need to get it back before I go to school." The mountain rumbled with a laugh. "You silly cloud. You shouldn't have taken a nap on my pointy peak. That's what happens. Now get lost." So Nimba floated away, feeling very downcast. But then she remembered she had to go to school, so she cheered herself up with a little wiggle and headed towards the bright lights of the city. As she passed over the tallest building in town, a little girl looked up and cried, "Mommy, look, it's a cloud shaped like a thread. How funny." And Nimba thought, maybe being different isn't so bad. But still, she wanted to feel soft and round again. So when she saw the big, beautiful moon hanging in the night sky, she called out, "Oh, moon, could you please help me? I've lost most of my fluff, and I need to get it back before I go to school." The moon yawned. "Oh, dearie, you woke me from my beauty sleep. You know I hate that. Well, I suppose I could help you. But first, can't you see I'm busy dreaming about how beautiful I am? Oh, it's such a lovely dream." And then the moon drifted back to sleep. Nimba sighed. Getting help from the moon wasn't going so well, and as she turned to leave, she heard a honk, honk. Looking behind her, she saw a whole flock of geese flying in V formation across the sky. "Excuse me," Nimba called out. "Could you please help me? I've lost most of my fluff, and I need to get it back before I go to school." The lead goose honked back. "We're late for our flying lesson. We don't have time to help you." And with that, they disappeared into the clouds. Poor Nimba felt like giving up. She didn't have anyone else to ask, and now she was very, very late for school. But then she remembered what her mama had told her. When life gives you wiggles, make a jiggle. So Nimba did. She jiggled all the way to school, past houses with windows that twinkled like stars, and gardens filled with flowers that smelled like sweet dreams. And soon she could hear the happy voices of her classmates. "Oh, good morning, Puddles," called out a voice. "Good morning, Billows," said another, and Nimba stopped outside the window and waved shyly. "Good morning," she whispered. Then suddenly, 2 big raindrops plopped onto her head. "Hey, watch it!" she cried, and the raindrops laughed. "Ha ha ha ha! We got you all wet!" "I'll show you!" Nimba cried, and she wiggled her wet nose until 2 more raindrops plopped onto the heads of those 2 bullies. "Ha ha, you got us wet!" they cried, and soon the whole class was giggling and wiggling in the rainstorm. Then a gruff voice boomed, "What's all this noise? Who's having fun in my rain?" Nimba and her classmates turned to see a big, dark cloud with a long white beard standing in the doorway. "It's me, Nimbus," said the kindest voice. "It's Mr. Nimble, our teacher." And he wasn't gruff at all. He was just a softy. Mr. Nimble floated closer and gasped, "Oh, dearie, you're all soaked through." With a wave of his magic wand, he dried off Nimba and her classmates. Then he led them inside the big, fluffy cloud that served as their school. When it was time for show and tell, Nimba went next. She floated to the front of the class and said in a tiny voice, "Well, here's something different." And all the clouds gasped. "Why, you look just like a thread, Nimba." "How funny." And Nimba felt a blush creep onto her cheeks. But then something amazing happened. All the other clouds started to giggle. They weren't making fun of her. They were laughing with her. Soon the whole classroom was filled with happy giggles, and Nimba realized something very important. Having no fluff didn't make her any less of a cloud. In fact, being a little different made her pretty special. And just then, Mr. Nimble floated over to her and gave her a big hug. There, Nimba. It doesn't matter what you look like or what shape you are. Being a cloud isn't about that. It's about being kind, showing courage, and having a little bit of laughter along the way. Nimba smiled, feeling better already. Then Mr. Nimble continued, "Besides, it's just the first day of school. You have plenty of time to learn how to be a cloud." And he winked. "Who knows, maybe you'll even learn how to grow some fluff." After class, Nimba went to find the moon so she could ask her a question. "Moon, you were right," Nimba began. "Being a cloud isn't about what you look like. It's about what you do." The moon yawned. "Oh, I knew you'd figure that out. I've been watching you, you know. And besides, it's not about what you look like or how fluffy you are. It's about how beautiful you are inside." "But I want to be fluffy again," Nimba said softly. The moon smiled. "Well, that's something you'll just have to wait and see." Then she added with a wink, "But maybe growing fluff isn't all about getting it from someone else. Maybe you can make it yourself." Nimba thought about this as she floated home, past the grumpy mountains that hadn't helped her, and the tall trees that hadn't offered her a leaf for a hat. And she realized the moon was right. Growing fluff wasn't about what you looked like or how different you were. It was about what you did. When she got home, Nimba took a deep breath and snuggled into her soft bed of clouds. Then she started to think of all the things she could do to help other people. Maybe she could be extra kind to the new clouds starting school. Maybe she could share her toys with the other kids. And maybe, just maybe, she could make someone's day a little brighter. And as Nimba drifted off to sleep, she felt something wonderful happen. Little by little, piece by piece, her fluff started to come back. At first it was just a tiny bit, then a little more, and then, before she knew it, she was soft and round once more. The next morning, Nimba woke up feeling beautiful inside and out. She bounced out of bed and floated over to her window. In the sky below, she could see the fluffy clouds from her class starting their first day of school. And Nimba wiggled her nose and shouted, "Welcome to Cloud School."